What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to start working on the torque converter for the Corvette. So I need to get this thing backed out, and I want to try to move it over a little bit more so I have more room on that side to work, and then maybe get it a little closer. So I'm going to see how close over-ish we can get it. So yeah, so let's get this thing moved. You know, I'm really starting to like the sound of this car. Like, I don't think I could ever buy a C5. I mean, they're pretty cheap for what they are. I'd probably get like a C6 and build it. But man, it sounds good. Like, I can't help it. Between this and like the older like Cobra Mustangs, man, they just sound good. So, well, we gotta get this thing up in the air. Get the tires removed on the rear. I gotta take off all the exhaust again, except the headers, and then start unbolting stuff. I actually printed out directions on the easiest way to do this, so it goes the fastest possible, just to get it done and get this car moving, because I know the owner is really excited to get it to drive it. And actually, when he takes it for a drive, I'll film that as well, because we still need to do some more data logging so we can send it to the tuner, because we have, I think, one more to do yet. So yeah, let's get to work. All right, guys, so we got the exhaust off. Justin was here helping me. We put a new fan clutch on his Supra. It doesn't sound like a jet anymore, but so far we got the exhaust off, brake calipers off in the rear. I started messing with the torque tube. I'm gonna have to take all the spark plugs off so it's easier to turn the motor, so I can get to the torque converter bolts. But I'm gonna stop for the night and then start again either tomorrow or Sunday, because I don't know, this is kind of all I really wanted to get to tonight, get it up in the air and get it started. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, guys, so it's the next day, and we are going to continue trying to get everything ready to have the rear cross member dropped so we can get the torque converter out. I noticed some of the rear cross member bolts are pretty rusty, so I'm going to go ahead and spray them now with some, same thing as PB Blaster, but go ahead and get these sprayed so these come out easy. And then we got to take off sway bar. Might as well spray those. And see, sway bar, lower shock bolts. Let's get those sprayed. Upper control arm bolt. And that should be it for this side, because that'll leave this here. Take that out, pop that off. I don't even have to take off the sway bar, it's coming down with it. We gotta take off this e-brake cable from inside of here. And that's kind of it. I do need to take out the spark plugs in the front, because it'll make it easier to turn the motor, to turn the transmission, so I can get all the torque converter bolts out. I already got one out, but yeah, just to make it easier. So I'm gonna take all the spark plugs out, and I gotta take off the X pipe as well. We got some heat shielding, so I'm gonna de-pin the O2 sensor and feed it through that heat sleeve, and then put it back together. It just runs really close to the exhaust, and I just don't want to take a risk. I know it already has some heat sleeve on it, but I just personally don't think it's enough. So I think that's it. All right, well, let's get these spark plugs out. All right, guys, so I got all the spark plugs out. I took out all the torque converter bolts. I'm gonna show you, that's kind of boring. One thing I did do was I de-pinned these O2 sensors on the X pipe, because they kind of get a little close to the header. And I know this is like a form of heat wrap for the O2 sensors, but I didn't really like it. So I had Steve grab the DEI, is that what it is? Yeah, DEI. So he grabbed some DEI heat wrap, and I did both O2 sensors on the closest side to the headers. Down here, it really doesn't get anywhere near the exhaust, so I wasn't too worried. The only thing left to do now is unbolt the transmission from the torque tube, and then fully unbolt the I got this loose. E-brake cable's off. Everything's loose except for the tranny bolts. So I might have to jack this up to get this off and to get this off. But we should be almost ready to drop the subframe once the tranny bolts are out. So yeah, we're gonna get the tranny bolts cracked loose and then go from there. All right, guys. So Justin and I got the transmission out and the differential, so it's kind of like one unit. It sucked. So what I don't like is they use steel, stainless steel, well, maybe just regular steel dowel pins on the transmission to go into aluminum, and it gets stuck really bad. You can see the it's not rust, it's like deterioration right here. And it was like literally galled on, so it took a lot to get that out of there. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. We dropped the subframe out first and then the diff out. One thing I did get was these little hockey puck things. I got them on Amazon. They were like $20, and it allows you to put the jack stands on the body of the car. That's when you jack this car up at a dealership, that's what they use. They would use those hockey puck things. But now we're gonna take the torque converter off, put the new one in, then put this all back up in, and yeah, keep on going. Hopefully this goes in easy. Probably gonna be a lot harder than getting it out, but we'll see. All right. So we've been able to make Italian subs, like literally make them from scratch. And the new diff is still filling up with fluid. Like every time we fill it up, we're on our second quart, it's almost empty. It's still gulping it down. So we can't even put it together until it's done, because it has to be full to the bottom of the neck until for us to put it in. So that's where we're at. This is taking forever, and I just want to put the transmission back in and like just go do other stuff. So the goal is to get the transmission and diff back in, get it bolted up, get the everything plugged up to the trans and diff that needs plugged up to it, then get the rear subframe back in, axles on, shocks bolted up, rear or upper control arms bolted up, and then get the trans bolted to the subframe and the torque converter bolted to the torque tube. And then that's it for today. And then I will probably finish the rest on Wednesday. So this video, there's gonna be like a week and a half between the last video and this one. But it's super time consuming. I mean, you can see it's just like gulping it, and there's nothing we can do. It's like just waiting. It's all right. Yeah, we're gonna continue waiting. All right, guys. So dirty as shit. Justin and I got the car all back together, and we even put it in drive and made sure it was okay. And she runs again. We actually fixed some of the exhaust leaks too that it had, but they're still there. For how expensive that exhaust was, it was from Summit. It wasn't like a name brand exhaust or anything, but for how expensive it was, I think the quality was pretty shit. I'm pretty sure it was like $1,500 for headers, X pipe, and then mid pipe, and then it has a Borla. I feel like the exhaust is pretty much garbage for how much it cost. But it's all back together. torque converters in, that's all done. So that's gonna be a wrap for this video. We're both exhausted, and the only thing left is just finish tuning it, which I'm not gonna show you guys. Maybe I'll do a video of it when we drive it after the final tune and see how, so you can see what the power's like. But other than that, that's gonna be a wrap for the Corvette build. Next is gonna be finishing my car, and then we're just gonna get the tranny in and get it running, and then once it's running, we're gonna start doing Justin's car, which is the white Supra, which is getting, that's gonna be a big build. That car's getting completely gutted. Interior, engine bay, everything, new body kit, everything. It's getting a color change, new wheels, new suspension. Like, that's gonna be a big build, and that's happening here next. So, yeah. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.